Now, joining me via Skype is Laura-Lee Rulf. She's the friend of the Ford Kuga driver who died in 2015 when his vehicle caught alight. Thanks so much for your time. We do appreciate it. You, of course, have gone out of your way to make a noise about what happened to your friend in 2015. Rightfully so, some would say, because Ford has not been very helpful.
Yes, indeed, Ford hasn't been helpful. My friend's Kuga was actually one of the first two that caught fire in that period, and there was investigations done, and it was brought to Ford's attention. Even Discovery had brought it to their attention, but nothing has been done. It's a year later now, and so many more Ford Kugas have set alight, and Ford is not coming to the party. So I started a petition on Change.org to create more awareness for all the other Ford Kuga drivers, because not only are their lives in danger, but also fellow motorists' lives are in danger who drives and share the road with the Ford Kuga drivers.
Now, your friend, of course, was Rochelle Jimmy. We understand his family has had a tough time with this situation, especially with Ford. Just tell us what they've been going through.
There's just so much. There's so many investigations that have been gone through, and the families also, they've got some information to help assist with the investigation that they wanted to share. And as you may have read in the news, that Ford denied that they ever came to the front to say, we've got some information to share to help you with the case.
Do you know if Rochelle Jimmy had any issues with his vehicle before this incident?
Yes. Now, Rochelle Jimmy, I used to share a desk with him. My friend was very prudent in all his life. And Rochelle, before he even went on the trip, because he was an avid skydiver, he had problems with his car, and he had taken it in. Also, one of my ex-colleagues did give a statement to the police to say that Rochelle has also mentioned that, in passing conversation at work, that he had problems with his vehicle. So it was something that he was very aware of, and the people around him.
So what has the petition brought about? What are other people saying about this incident?
The petition has brought about awareness, because I've started the petition about 3 weeks ago, and we've managed to amass around about 1,500 signatures so far. And a lot of people, even Ford Kuga owners that weren't aware of the situation, became aware, and we rallied to get support. This is not only about my friend Rochelle Jimmy, but it's about consumer rights. It's about Ford taking responsibility of having these death machines on the roads, and we wanting justice not for Rochelle Jimmy, but justice for all of those Ford owners, because their vehicles it's worth next to nothing now, even if they try to trade it in.
Now, Laura-Lee, I can give you some breaking news. eNCA can confirm that Ford is set to announce a total recall of the Kuga. This will only be made official at 3 o'clock, so we are breaking it right now. Fittingly so, given that I'm speaking to you about this. How do you feel that this decision has come now?
I feel very elated on the part that the vehicles will be removed off our roads, but I don't think that until Ford takes responsibility for the death of Rochelle Jimmy, I think then I will rest, not because of anything else, but because that someone who was so prudent and has made sure before he left to go on that trip that his car was safe, ended up dead today. He had a big life ahead of him, and I feel robbed to have lost such a great man. It was a friend and an uncle and a brother and a son, even to his family. So I think that as much as Ford is recalling these vehicles, they need to take full responsibility for Rochelle Jimmy's death. And if it means to start another campaign just for his case, I will do that.
What do you mean full responsibility? Are you seeking money in return for the family?
It's not about money. This is not about money. It's about the fact that they need to take responsibility that someone's life has been lost here, and they knew of this. If you look into the whole Ford saga, the Ford Kuga was sold as a Ford Escape in China and the US, and those vehicles were recalled. And these vehicles were only introduced in our market around about the same time that those vehicles were recalled. Ford then said, as I read in the paper, that those vehicles weren't part of the production, but those vehicles are not produced in our country. And the very same vehicles are going through the same experience, that the foreign markets experience, which means that they knew that these vehicles had a risk, and which means that I can hold them, or, in my personal opinion, accountable for my friend's death.
All right, thank you very much for your time and, of course, taking that time out to speak to us. That was Laura-Lee Rulf speaking to us on the Ford Kuga issue.